How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Simfin. I want to show you a bit of what's been going on behind the scenes, kind of the updates I've done to the desk rig, and let's just get right into it. I got the CSL DD, which I got back in November, and it's been really awesome. I really love it. I ended up purchasing the pedals to go along with it. I love the accelerator. The only issue I had was with the brake pedal that came with it. The original $79 pedal set, it's not that great. It doesn't provide any pushback, kind of like the Logitech pedals did. Would not recommend just getting the pedal set by itself, but I would recommend getting the load cell to go with it. Other than that, I'd suggest just keep the pedals from your Logitech wheel if you end up getting one of these things. After that, we have the rig itself, which is an eBay rig, really cheap. Just modified it to suit what I needed. It doesn't come with the required holes for the CSL DD, but I just kind of drilled them and made it work. Next, we have this little device up here. It's the Tobii eye tracker, and what I use it for is not for eye tracking. I use it for head tracking, and what's really cool is that you're pretty much able to move your whole head in virtual reality. It's really awesome. Alright guys, so now that we're back, I want to show you how this whole experience is. It's very interesting, very unique, and very different from what I have experienced myself and what I think is out there. You'll see that with this head tracking, it completely changes how the game feels. And then on top of that, I'm going to be just giving some of my impressions on the wheelbase and some of the gripes that I've had with some of the other gear that I've gotten, and let's go from there. Right off the bat, the first thing you'll notice is just the way that I'm moving my head and how everything is moving around as well is just absolutely crazy and absolutely fun, in my opinion. That was one of the big first things I noticed, was the difference in kind of perception you get. It's kind of like light VR type of experience that you end up getting with this. I had this head tracking idea from Sim Racing GP, and I noticed that some people were saying that you might be able to get some good head tracking with a Tobii. So I just kind of looked a little into it, and just found some programs on there, and they ended up working properly. Had to fuck around with them just a little bit, but now they're working properly and everything. The wheelbase itself is absolutely amazing. Right now I don't have it turned up all the way just because it's kind of loud right now. It's like late at night. But it's absolutely amazing. The difference that I ended up experiencing with this versus the Logitech was absolutely insane. For one, you can just feel way more detail, and what I mean by detail is not only the track features, but you can also feel the difference in grip with your car, you know? And I think that was the hugest change that I experienced. The fuck?
Son of a gun.
Accelerator not working.
You thought I was gonna say son of a bitch, didn't you?
So, like I was saying, I ran out of fuel there, so I had to go back to the pit. But like I was saying, the difference in grip, right? You can feel the car, you can feel the weight of it. It's insane. I was not expecting not to feel that level of detail with a direct drive wheelbase. I know that a lot of people say that you can feel that, but once you experience it in your first hand, it's like you feel the difference immediately, and I think that's something that should be pointed out more, is just the difference in what you're feeling and how it all comes together is absolutely beautiful. The one thing I ended up getting a couple more items from Fanatec. I bought the table clamp, and I got that WRC wheel. I got the pedals, and I initially had gotten the $79 set of pedals. Absolutely fell in love with the accelerator, but the pedals that the brake pedal that comes with that $79 version, man, don't recommend it at all. Absolutely not. You do have to buy both of them, you know, that's kind of the lame part. You can't just buy them individually. But dude, those pedals, you can't, there's no resistance. They don't feel as heavy as the Logitech pedals, which is really surprising, you know? Like you're coming from a set of like a set of pedals like that. You think that it's going to be like a nice and very cool difference. I was using them for a couple months and I was never able to get used to those pedals. To the accelerator, I absolutely got used to that, but that brake pedal was, I could not do it. I could not do it. It was like the most minimal amount of pressure that you ended up putting on that thing sent it to like 100, you know, and I didn't like that. I wasn't able to be consistent with the brakes, which sucked, because even with those Logitech pedals, I was 100% able to be consistent. And I think that's one of the aspects of the pedal sets that I did not like. But the nice part is that I just ended up receiving the CSL load cell pedal, and that now that is like a huge difference. The first day I got it, man, it was like a night and day difference between those two pedals, and night and day in a good way. I absolutely fell in love with it. It takes a lot more force for your foot to do some good damage, you know, on those brakes, and you gotta really push it down. So you kind of had to have a rig or just somewhere where they won't fly out of your way. I don't know if you can do that with like just anything. Maybe not on the floor, but I do recommend that pedal. It's just like 10 times better. 10 times better than the initial brakes that it comes with. The other thing that I ended up getting, which I was highly disappointed with, was the table clamp. That thing was, I don't know, man, that thing sucks. It really just is not good. It's not good. For one, since this wheel's it's not that heavy. It's like 15 pounds, right? The wheelbase, but it can't handle the forces on there. Not even with 8. I turned it down to like half. Still the same thing. I didn't really like it. It was sliding all over the place. Even when you try to install it correctly, I was like messing around with that thing for so long, just trying to get it to be actually useful. But it was the most useless thing that I had bought, because for one, the angle that it lies at is just so awkward, and especially if you don't have a desk that can move up and down, it just makes it 10 times worse. And it angles the wheel up, which in a really nice way, you know, and then it just shakes everything. I mean, that's not a bad thing, because it shook everything, but I didn't really care for that, right? Like, yeah, I shook everything, like, whatever. I don't have an issue with that. The issue I had with, though, was that it came loose. It would fly all over the place. Even though I would tighten it down just like how I wanted it, right? And when I was tightening it, I was noticing that it was like getting all funky down the bottom. When I mean funky, it was like the thing that I was screwing it into was starting to peel the metal off of it. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, that's not cool. Like, I paid for this thing and it's not worth it. But, you know, you learn your lesson. That is what it is. But the wheelbase, though, that's like a different story. Absolutely would recommend it. The pedals, you can live with, if you can live with your Logitech pedals, I would stick with those. And if you don't, once you have a little more cash, yeah, go ahead and buy the pedal set. I'll buy them with the load cell kit because that other pedal set is kind of and I think that pretty much ties it all in together. This is my new rig update, you know. Absolutely love this light VR experience. It makes everything really intuitive for me, and I can really get down with this, you know. It's really fun. Definitely enjoy it. This was my first direct drive experience, you know. And coming from that Logitech pedals, or not the Logitech wheel, it was definitely worth the upgrade. But at that same time, I 100% love the Logitech wheelbase. It's perfect for what it is, you know. You get everything that you need for 250 bucks. Can't complain about that. But I think that it pretty much ends it here. I showed you how this works and how this all ties in together. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, good rest of your night, whatever it may be. Simfin, peacing out.